think the best way to describe an ID scanner would be like a helpful tool, an extra security belt that the hotel can utilize. It provides a sense of security for certain things that just a regular check-in process can't. First things first, the main thing that it provides as far as security is that it allows you to keep a copy of the guest's ID. So putting aside if your guest can't find their key, a personal experience when I used to work at a hotel in Midtown, if they didn't have their ID on them to verify it was them, we would have to pull someone off the lobby floor, escort them to the room to verify the ID. So with an ID scanner incorporated as part of your check-in process, you have that right there in your system. So any agent that interacts with the guest can see it right there, bam, it pops up. And they can just give them a key for their room. I think the most important part, though, is it's a great tool to help the hotel with chargeback. Unfortunately, you have times when you have a guest, whether it be a walking guest or even someone that books directly with the hotel ahead of time. And when they check out, they try to pull a fast one on the property and they charge back any of the charges. With an ID scanner as a helpful tool, like a security blanket, so to speak, not only do you have a copy of the ID on file, but you have proof that the guest stayed with you. It matches the signature of the credit card, all that. So you have all this backup to help the hotel win these chargebacks. Just with the basic, it speeds up your check-in process to begin with if you have an ID scanner. Especially if you use one of ours, we include this software that's called keyboard emulation. So when you scan, and the scan itself takes like maybe 4 seconds. So when the front desk agent scans, it autofills all the fields for you. And now we work with, I think we're up to about 40 PMS systems. This speeds the check-in process in. It eliminates clerical errors that your front desk agent may do because they're rushing to checking the next guest and the next guest. So that helps with that. And then again, with the security element of it. I think it's still important for the hotels to realize that, yes, you do everything you can with a PMS system, utilizing the reservation, checking in the guest. But I think that extra bit of security where you have this on file helps the hotel in the long run. The best part about with our software, and one thing that I think is actually really cool is, so the hotel keeps the images. We don't have access to that, right? And they can download it to a file where they can share with their sister properties, okay? And the reason why that's a good idea is because we have a feature where you can mark someone as a do not rent guest. Sometimes guests go from hotel to hotel seeing who they can scheme or if there's anything done to the room, anything like that. We allow our accounts to share this list with their sister properties so they get that information as well. So hotels who don't utilize an ID scanner for their check-in process, first of all, that they have nothing backing them up for chargebacks. That's the biggest thing. I used to deal with chargebacks at the aforementioned hotel I worked at in Midtown Manhattan. And before we actually eventually got an ID scanner. Before getting the ID scanner, I lost every single one of those chargeback cases. We're talking thousands of dollars. After we got the ID scanner and we told the front desk agents, we enforced them to use it, I won every single one of the chargeback cases. The proof is in the pudding, so to speak. The hotels should realize that they need something extra to back them up. There are other day-to-day things where a copy of an ID in the system would be helpful to the front desk. But when it comes back down to revenue that is trying to be taken from the property, I think this security blanket is a great asset to have and incorporate. When I used to handle the chargeback cases at the hotel in Midtown that I worked at, prior to the ID scanning being incorporated into the check-in process, I would actually have to go to the basement, research stuff, go back and forth with the front desk agent that checked them in, check the video cameras to ensure that it was the person that was checking in, based on it. I felt like a mini hotel detective just to get background enough to show these credit card companies that this was a legitimate charge, and I would lose the case. So I would spend all that money. One case, I remember it was for close to $4,000, and they checked it in on the overnight shift. Their credit card cleared. Their ID signature matched the credit. $4,000. Lo and behold, the next Tuesday of the following work week, we get the case from the bank. And that's the case. I did so much research, and we ended up losing it because the credit card company insisted you have nothing legitimately backing you up, that this was a legit charge. So that was, I'll never forget that. It's $4,000. So let's say that it's just one case, okay? How many cases throughout the year you could lose money? Whereas if you have something solid to back you up, to back up the property, it's so much easier. It's so much easier because the ID, the photo of the ID gets stored right in your system. You could pull it up right away. It takes all the detective work out of trying to win a chargeback case. Hotels, no, they put so much thought and effort into every element of a hotel. Housekeeping, the guest experience, the check-in experience, all of that. This small machine will just add to your benefit as a hotel. And it makes a world of difference.